Let's bring him in right now. The man with a shovel in his hand, Pat Pagano. Good morning, Pat.
Yeah. I
Hey,
do have a shovel.
hey. In my house, we got a little over 5 inches. If you came down lower, it was 3 to 4 inches most places. But I'll tell you what, Pat. We got a ton of snow this February.
Oh yeah. I had like 2.5 inches down here. We weren't expecting that in the lower Hudson Valley. We're expecting an inch. And it was a heavy wet snow, so it's
Yeah.
not easy shoveling.
That's exactly right. It was a heavy wet snow, but I'll tell you what, it did come down really strong for about 3 hours in between like 1 and 4. It just I sometimes I couldn't see the house right across the street from me. But it's a wet snow. But the great thing about that heavy wet snow is it ended early enough in the evening. All the plows are out there. Roads now are basically just wet. When you have that
Right.
powdery snow, the snow gets tramped down and it's almost like ice. Even the secondary roads are mostly asphalt now. So, but we're now approaching 65 to 70 inches of snow for the winter.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And today, it'll be partly cloudy. We have a chance of flurries. Nothing like yesterday. This is another front. Highs low 40s, and then clearing out tonight, 25 to 30. Sunny clouds Wednesday, the mildest day of the week, 45 to 50. Thursday, partly cloudy and breezy, maybe a shower or flurry here and there, not a big deal, 40. And Friday, sunny, high, again, about 40. We have some rain coming in. Actually, we have some wet snow coming in Saturday that'll probably mix with rain. So it's going to be, looks light, but it looks inclement. And then Sunday will wind up being a partly sunny day with high temperatures in the low 40s. So the Saturday, not so good. Sunday, better. And then, of course, next week, March comes in. And March will be coming in, I'm afraid, like a lion. Because I think what will happen is we'll probably get a little rain on Monday that could end as snow, probably Monday night. And that'll be followed by a blast of wind and cold on Tuesday of next week. So I'm going to think that March is going to begin like a lion.
Well, maybe it'll go out like a lamb.
Maybe it will be. And wouldn't that be nice?
But like you said, we're basically a month behind. February actually was more like January,
Right.
and March will probably be more like February.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping that really doesn't continue because Easter this year is very early. Easter this year is April 4th. So, we would like nice weather by April 4th, but then you'd have to read that as the beginning of March, which is not all that nice.
Well, I think it's wrong to have Easter only a couple of days away from April Fool's Day.
You have to tell that to whoever the powers that be.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's only like April 1st and then April 4th is Easter?
Yeah.
Come on.
So
Well, anyway, so you got 2.5, we got a little over 5 inches. Most people got in up here anywhere between 4 and 5 inches. But it was funny, if you went up into Berkshire County, they didn't get as much snow as we did down here.
Right. Yeah. Again, it was exactly, the band and where the band was. It was, to me, and again, it wasn't a storm.
No.
As you noticed during the whole event, there was hardly any wind at all to speak of. Just a little bit. So that wasn't bad either. And look at the temperatures. They were so borderline.
Well, that was another interesting thing. I was looking at the National Weather Service maps, and I was watching the rain-snow line advance northward, and that rain-snow line maybe got up close to Kent, but it never got any farther because the storm ended by the time that rain-snow line approached our area. So we stayed in the all-snow section of it.
You're right, and pretty much it was no great shakes. I mean,
No.
It was pretty much what we expected. With, like I said, who's going to quibble about an inch here and there?
Yeah,
That's
no.
basically what it comes down to. Eastern parts of the state got no snow at all. I mean, Bradley only recorded like an inch of snow. Once you get east of Bradley, nothing, zero, all rain.
But I'd much rather get 15 5-inch snowstorms or 6-inch snowstorms than the two big ones we got where we had 20 and 15 inches, and then we still got our share of 4 to 6 inch snowfalls.
Gotcha.
The 4 or 6 inch, they add up. I mean, in the past week, we between this one and the one before, we got 10 inches of snow in those last two bouts. So I mean, they add up, and so people who like snow and like winter get their snow, and it's much easier to handle than those 18 and 20 inch blasts.
I totally agree. I mean, unfortunately, the 18 and 20 inches of snow still out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's that much out there now, but I would say after shoveling yesterday at my house, at least a foot.
I was going to say, yeah, there's about a foot, maybe a little over a foot of the old snow left, and now we've got this additional last two storms that are on top of that. And I'll tell you what, the snowbank that's in front of my house, where my plow guy has to plow those.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Looks like Mount Etna.
What did you think? I thought the tribute last evening from the White House for all the people who have passed with COVID, I thought it was very touching.
It was, and I'll give Joe Biden is really perfect for this time. Whether you like his politics or not, whether you like his stance on what he wants to do or not, the compassion that he brings back to the office.
Yeah.
And really, if you look at the string of presidents, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you look at Ronald Reagan, remember when the country went through the crisis of losing the astronauts, the empathy and the passion and commitment he showed for the families was outstanding. Jimmy Carter was that way. Bill Clinton was that way. Both George Bush and little Bush were that way. President Obama was that way. I mean, we've been used to that, and it was just not a personality portion of Donald Trump. He just didn't have that compassionate side, and Joe Biden has returned that, and I think that's one of the biggest things that we needed, and boy, he has provided it. That was a very nice memorial.
It was very touching with the 500 candles where they had it set up, and he and his wife were very, very. You could see they were upset. I noticed as they were playing Amazing Grace, he was shaking his head. And you could see it's just like he was saying to himself, why did this have to happen? And I agree. It is just awful. I mean, I think of the whole world. Aren't we the nation with the most fatalities?
It's not even close. Yeah. The next nation closest to us is like 260,000.
Half of what we have.
Yeah. It's America. What can you say?
It's America, but a lot. To me, I blame on the individual states who completely ignored
there was
the
no
safety rules.
But there was no direction. There was no comprehensive
that's true,
attack on it, and that's the whole thing. But
that's a problem. Leadership.
We're beyond that now, and we're heading in the right direction. Hopefully, and hopefully by the middle of summer, we'll be back to quasi-normal. But one never knows. But we are heading in the right direction. So, and Joe Biden is the perfect guy to handle this particular crisis. He really is. He can calm the nation, inform the nation, and console those who have family members or friends that were lost to this COVID-19 disease. So, he did a great job, and he's done a great job like that. And that's aside from his politics. I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking about his connection with the American people.
Humanity, right? Exactly.
Is really pretty amazing, and I think it's because what he's been through in his life. I mean, it's like if you were Kennedy, you've just had a lot of traumatic experience of loss of life in the family, and I think it really changes you and sets you up as a better person to understand what other people go through.
So, exactly.
So now understand what we're going to go through for the next couple of days weather-wise?
Yeah, not too bad. Just a few flurries here. And, the rest of the week quiet. And then a little snow, wet snow and rain on Saturday. So we don't have, let's put it this way, we don't have any major storms through the weekend.
through the weekend.
through the weekend.
Can't go
That's
any
as far as I go.
That's right. No 10-day outlook, huh?
No, you know what
I
happens
know.
after 5 days.
That's
Forget
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is.
it. Yeah.
All right, Pat. Well, I want you to get back to doing what you do, and I'll speak to you tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. You take care, Marshall.
Take care. Pat Pagano this morning in the Weather Center with a check out our tri-state forecast.